In the last video, we have learned about Thomson's model of atom. If you have not watched the video, please go to that video again. After that only you can understand the next topic. Alright. So before I explain the Rutherford's experiment, it's important to recall or revisit the Thomson's model. Now, what does the Thomson's model says? Thomson said an atom looks like a sphere and it is full of positive charge, and in between you have the electrons. And he also said the positives and the negatives are equal, so atom is electrically neutral. Okay. Now, who was Rutherford? Rutherford was a student of Thomson. So he was a firm believer of Thomson's model. Rutherford used to support this model of atom, and he wanted to prove it experimentally. Remember, Thomson gave this model on paper only. He could not give an experimental proof. Rutherford wanted to give an experimental proof to the model. So now for his experiment, Rutherford took two things. One is he took a very thin gold foil and then he took alpha particles. Now this is self-explanatory. Thin gold foil, obviously you can understand what is that. Now what is alpha particle? That you have to understand. Alpha particle means helium 2 plus ion. Right? Now you have to recall something now. What is the atomic number of helium? Helium atomic number is 2. Alright, that means it has 2 protons and 2 electrons, isn't it? Now what does helium 2 plus means? Helium 2 plus means there will be no electrons, right? Helium or 2টা ইলেকট্রন থাকে কিন্তু 2 plus যেটা আমরা কই দিলু 2 plus কই দিয়ার লগে it has no electrons. It has no electrons means what? It is entirely positive. Right? In a sense, what I'm trying to say is that alpha particle is nothing but positive particles. Alright, so these are two things that he used for his experiment. Alright, so now let's try to understand what was his expectation from the experiment. So what Rutherford wanted to do is that he took the gold foil, very thin one, and he bombarded the gold foil with the alpha particles. And as I said, what are alpha particles? Alpha particles are positive particles. And there's one more thing that you need to know about alpha particles. Alpha particles are very heavy. Right? So now, if I assume that Thomson's model is correct, so Thomson's model is correct. If I assume that Thomson's model is correct, so let me draw the Thomson's model here. Alright, so these are all negatives, not positive. Alright, these are all negatives, and the red color is positive. If I bombard this one with alpha particles, let's try to understand theory here. The entire sphere is made up of positive. Alpha particles are also positive. Similar charges repel each other, so alpha particles should, after striking the sphere, alpha particles should come back, isn't it? Because positives and positives should repel each other. Interestingly, alpha particles are heavy also, so Should there be large deflection? Because they are very heavy, Rutherford was expecting small deflections. Alright, so these were the expectations of Rutherford. He expected that the alpha particles, after colliding with the atoms, will come back but with small deflections, not large deflections. In the next video, we are going to learn that how Rutherford was surprised by the result of his experiment.